Your bridge to hope, encouragement, and inspiration. It's Sozo Today with the Bridge FM Morning Crew. Here's Johnny, Jared, and Joel.
Good morning, Washington, Greenville, New Bern, 49 degrees. It's going to be sunny today, a beautiful day, a day to get out in the backyard, maybe from a distance, with a good distance from everybody else, doing a little park walk, whatever works for you.
Social distancing exercise.
A little social distancing exercise. But yeah, man, and we're doing that in here. We're doing that in the studio. We are here. Joel's way over on his section, and you and I are good. I would say we're a good 6 feet apart, close to it here in the studio. So, yeah, certainly remember to do that. And, a lot of businesses are now putting out their stickers. You can't go, Wes was telling me that one of the stores is going to make the aisles one way. And so, hey, it's interesting times, isn't it, man?
It is interesting times, but it is also – it's neat for me to see how we adapt and then overcome.
Yeah.
We say, okay, well, if it's going to be like this, even if it's short term, how can we make it absolutely the best that we can make it for our neighbor, for maybe our customer, for our employees?
Yeah.
So the businesses here around town have done a great job of that. And Mayor Conley's done a great job of really staying on top of that here in Greenville.
Yes.
And then in Washington as well. They've just, they've done an awesome job.
Folks we want to do our part. And I think what everybody feels is we want this to be over as soon as possible so we can get back to some semblance of normal. Speaking of the fact that because of what's going on, we have some more time on our hands than normal. Our daily routine has been drastically changed. We're probably spending more time at home, more time with ourselves. So it's in moments like this, and this is certainly a rare one, but it's in a moment like this that we probably have the opportunity to do more reflecting, introspective, looking on the inside. And what may come to surface in this moment is some things we realize we want to change, some things that we see, and maybe for some of us it doesn't take all that. Maybe for some of us we just live with what we know needs to be changed. But maybe others though, it's like right now you're thinking more, you're out in those walks more, and you're thinking, man, this area of my life I want to change. I really want to see this area change. We're going to be talking about that in the next segment as we get into today's devotional. Tell them how they can get plugged into that, Jared.
So that you can hop on sozotoday.com. You'll see just right there at the front of your screen when you hop on, you'll see today's devotional. On the right of the screen, you'll see the Bible reading plan where you can read the whole Bible through with us in a year and the New Testament twice during that year. If you're listening on the radio, thank you so much. If you are in between and you're like, man, how can I listen to y'all when I'm here or when I'm there? You can always download the MyBridge FM mobile app, and you can listen to us there. You can tell Alexa to play us. You can mybridgefm.com. So there's a bunch of ways that you can listen to us. Tune in. Absolutely. And Johnny, just going back to this, what we're going to dive into next hour, you said earlier that as you're on these walks, you're looking at things. Oh yeah. You know what? This needs to change, or, hey, you know what? I've got this and I'm just living with it. Sometimes there's something that you think you have changed, and then it just flares up, right? And those happens. It happens. And those are frustrating times too. And so today's devotional really speaks to all of that and just where those problems really come from.
And how we can experience real change. The answer. If you recognize some things you want to change, how do we accomplish that? So we're going to be talking about that this morning, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Joel, you got some weather for us, brother?
Yeah, I do. Today's sunny and breezy with highs in the 60s. Tonight, mostly clear and cool with lows in the 40s. And tomorrow, partly cloudy and warm with highs in the upper 60s. That's your weather update on 98.3 The Bridge.
Your bridge to hope, encouragement, and inspiration. It's Sozo Today with the Bridge FM Morning Crew. Here's Johnny, Jared, and Joel.
To build a bridge of love together, one stone of hope at a time. Let's span the sea that comes between us, So join your hands.
So, Jared, we are asking the Lord to build this bridge of love between us.
Yes.
One stone of hope at a time. So we've been talking about change this morning, and if you are spending more time with yourself, by yourself, your whole routine has been all jacked up because it's just what it is, you probably you got more time to think, and introspection can happen. Am I saying that right? Introspection, introspective. Interreflection. I know that's a word because spell check didn't put that underline when I put it in my notes. So here's what I'm saying. You got time to do that more. And you're probably, if you're like a lot of people, you are realizing, man, there's some things here that I want to change. And boy, is this amazing that this morning during our show, we have had our own experience. I think this is actually the first time, maybe not the first, but isn't it interesting how the devotion God gives you, you can actually experience it in the moment.
Right.
And you and I both this morning, we've experienced it in the moment. Now, you wouldn't know by listening, hopefully, but we kind of had a little spat in here this morning, didn't we, Jared?
Yeah, so not only are they spending more time with themselves,
Yeah.
but they're also probably spending more time with their
Families.
spouse, their families.
Yeah.
And, sometimes when you spend a lot of time together, it's easy to see maybe the fault in the person that you're sitting with, harder to see it in yourselves. And Johnny, we were sitting here earlier, and
In the first segment.
in the
first hour.
Yeah, first hour, and I was telling a story, and y'all. So how this works with us in studio is when one of us is talking, telling a story, and I don't mean to be churchy when I say this, but we really let the Lord lead.
Yeah, we want to.
And we both can sense that. And so if one of us hears something that the other one said, that we feel like needs to be emphasized more, we're like, hey, well, let's go back to this thought. So I was telling this story earlier.
And if you go back and listen to our show highlights of this week, you'll hear that.
Yeah.
It's just an interactive thing that we've been doing, like I just did right there, right, Jared?
Exactly. And so as I'm telling the story, so Johnny felt like this point needed to be brought up, and he kind of goes into it to elaborate, for me to elaborate. Well, when he did, it was a side street to the story, and I totally lost my train of thought on the story itself, where I was going. And so now I'm having to so I had to go over here and reach out and grab that, and instead of being like, okay, this is the direction the Lord wants us to go, which is how it's been all week. Right, I get frustrated because my train of thought is lost, and and we start, and so then after this happens, when we go into the break, we're like, this has got to get fixed, right? And if you listen to the last segment, you heard me talk about sometimes things that you think you have kicked show up, right? And so one of the things that I struggle with, and if you ask probably anybody that has been around me for a significant amount of time, I have my temper is I can go from 0 to 100 in a drop of a hat, but I can also come back down from 100 to 0 in the top. It's just it's one of those things, and that's kind of, man, and
we call that being a hothead. But for anyone listening, that's a very, how do I say that, Jared? Having worked with you for a year now, that's a rare thing. You can see you're very independent. You're a very independent thinker, and that's a blessing for me and for us, what you bring to the station. So that's not always a negative thing. So, but you're looking at it in this moment, you're thinking, but it can lend itself to this sometimes. But as you just explained it, I want our audience to know that's not the norm. At least in my experience.
It's not the norm. It is not the norm.
But it came out this morning.
But it used to be the norm.
Yeah.
It used to be the norm for me.
Gotcha.
And, it's something that, as the devotion talks about this morning, as I switched my focus from me to the Lord, that it began to change, right? And I began to see that, and my kids can see that, and there's not that, sometimes your kids will do something that just immediately gets under your skin. And so the Lord has taught me through my children the importance of having that extended grace.
Mm-hmm. Now, on my side, Jared, on my side of the table, I'm maybe not as quick to get there, like you just described for yourself. But when I do get there, it takes me a while to get back down. To whereas you can go there really quick, but then you can leave it really quick. Mm-hmm. For me, it takes me a while to get there, but when I do, I'm there, and I'm gonna be there for a while. And typically, what I do is I'm gonna make every point I want to make. I'm gonna make sure you understand where I'm coming from, and I go into this fix it thing, like it's almost like I just set the Holy Spirit aside, and I give me the tools, Lord, because I'm gonna fix this, and in that fixing, I can be harsh. I can in my being upset and angry in the moment, and I can damage something. That's just, it's been my, and again, hopefully if you know me and you're around me, you don't see it a lot, very often. Right. But that's something that I need to change. It's like if I feel that frustration hit me, I don't need to go there. I need to be, maybe if I'm, what the word says, slow to get angry and quick to forgive. I'm a little slow to get angry, but I'm not as quick to move on.
And I'm quick to get angry, but I'm quick to move on.
Yep, got it. And so it was, bottom line though, is we got to experience that this morning in the studio in between segments, and it brought us both to this place where, man, you know what? I want to change. I want that to be changed. I want that to change. I'm not good. I'm not happy with it staying that way. Right. I definitely don't want that area to get worse, but I'm not even good with it at all. I want that to completely change. So the answer is this, Jared. Here, that's the question and answer is this. So when you see those moments that you want to change, how do you do it? How do you do it? Do I do it by beating myself up and or saying I shouldn't do this, or maybe having a greater determination, or just, again, beating myself up, which those things do, and particularly the law, when you talk about be slow to anger, quick to forgive, when you look at that, is that the answer, focusing on that? According to Paul, it's not the answer. Read that for us, that the Amplified version of 2 Corinthians 3:18, and he lays it out for us. He gives us the answer. How do you bring about that real change when you've identified something that really needs to be changed?
And we all, with unveiled face, continually seeing as in a mirror the glory of the Lord, are progressively being transformed into his image, from one degree of glory to even more glory, which comes from the Lord, who is the Spirit.
Man, that's it right there, brother. As we keep our focus and our attention on him. The law points out my need to change, but the law can't help me change.
Right.
The Spirit of God who is Spirit, Christ who is Spirit, living on the inside of me. If we will keep our eyes and our focus on him, he will transform us from glory to glory to glory into his image, one bit and 1 degree at a time, one piece at a time. And you know what? I need to have patience with myself and others as we go from degree to degree, right? And man, but the promise is he's going to do it. Yeah. If we keep our focus and our eyes on him, the promise is he's going to bring that change, man.
He is going to absolutely. So in the moment, recognize it. Recognize it for what it is. It is you getting your eyes off of him and putting them on you. And then let this verse draw you back to say, Lord, I know that my focus is not on you, even in that moment. And it's something that you can absolutely just turn around and change. So that's what a
good,
great.
You know what? We made a decision to be real time and transparent in that.
Yeah.
So I hope if you're listening, you're not judging us, right? Don't judge, because, hey, we're just like you are, right?
Yeah,
we're just like you. Hey, Amber Tittle coming up next segment.
Your bridge to hope, encouragement, and inspiration. It's Sozo Today with the Bridge FM Morning Crew. Here's Johnny, Jared, and Joel.
We have a story of grace.
Last segment, Johnny, of the first week of Sozo Today with the Bridge FM Morning Crew.
Wow. Last segment, first week under our belt. And
it's been awesome.
It's been awesome. It's been
I don't mean for
change.
The listener maybe, but for me and you, like as we walk through these devotions every day, which you can find on sozotoday.com, it's been awesome for us to just have this stuff just poured into us. It's been really good.
Definitely having to get up earlier in the morning. It's changed my daily routine tremendously. But we knew that was going to happen. But
I'm getting a nap in.
You are?
Yeah, I've been getting a nap in at least twice this week. I've got a nap in.
I did that, and both nights I couldn't fall asleep good. So yesterday I didn't take a nap intentionally, and I slept better last night than I've slept so far this week. So I think I found my recipe. Yeah.
So you're probably spending more time at home yourself during this the COVID-19, just like me and my family. You're probably figuring out different ways to make this thing work, and we're excited to have a special guest with us today, Johnny.
Yeah, so every day this week we've had a special guest on the line with us. We've talked to pastors, we've talked to educators, we've talked to a medical doctor, healthcare professional. This morning we wanted to talk to a mom.
Yeah.
From a mom's perspective, what's it been like for you during this whole coronavirus thing that we're dealing with? So we got Amber Tittle on the line with us. Amber, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. So Amber, I told you when we called you a while ago, you're our guinea pig this morning. We're trying out some new phone technology with you. So if anything goes haywire, you'll know. Yeah, it's Joel's fault. And so good to talk to you. How are you doing this morning?
Oh my goodness. First of all, I just have to say thank you so much for this opportunity. This has been like the most excitement I've had in 3 weeks being at home. And I got up this morning and took a shower and put some real clothes on for the first time. And nobody could even see me, but you can hear me and I'm dressed. So
that's awesome. So for y'all that don't know, Amber and her husband, Ryan and Amber, they're owners of the Zaxby's locations here in Washington and Greenville. And Amber, so, I know you're very involved with your kids and their school. I keep up with you guys on Facebook, and so I know you're very involved in that. So, but from a mom's perspective, now your kids are at home. You guys have 3 kids, right? Two girls,
yes.
Your 2 girls and your son, right?
Yep.
And
yes,
now everything is shifted, and now it's all on you. What's that been like for you?
First of all, my kids have always said, "Oh, we want to be homeschooled, Mom. Will you homeschool us?" And we are like not even maybe 2 weeks in last week, and they're like, "We want to go back to school." So I don't know what that says about me, but it says a lot about the teachers in those schools that they're in, that they miss their friends and their teachers a lot. But it's been challenging for sure, and I think, we had a lot of these ideas and plans of what we were going to do, and we had schedules, and all that went out the water, like out the window in like 2 days. We were like, well, that's not going to work, and this is not going to work. And so it's pretty much every day just playing it by ear.
So do y'all have like this rigid schedule that you're following? Like everybody's up at a certain time, and you're having breakfast by this time, and then you're in some studies by this time, or do you kind of let the day just kind of flow? What's your flow there?
I would say we generally have a schedule. I mean, I let my kids sleep in a little bit. That's kind of the joy of being at home right now. But we try to get up by 8:30. Everybody up, and my girls
not sleeping
are older,
in, Amber.
8:30
is not sleeping in. Good. I thought you was thinking like 10 or 11. 8:30. That's still early, isn't it?
Doing.
That's
no,
good.
but they get up, and the girls kind of get their stuff going, and then I kind of have to drag the little one out of bed most days. But it's day by day, and we're just taking it, as it comes. And to be honest, this has kind of been a season too where a lot of moms. I mean, I've stayed at home for 14 years with my kids and been very, very thankful for that. But there's a lot of times where you go on, social media and you see stuff what all these other people are doing, and you're like, oh, I need to do it like that, or I need to do it like that. And this has just been another season where God's just reminding me, like, you can't look at, your neighbor down the street or your friend across town and what they're doing, and you need to like focus on me. And every day is a new day, and just give it to God and just do our own thing, in our family and what works for us. So
that's a great word, because we do that. We tend to see what others are doing on social media, but what we fail to realize, sometimes they're only posting their best. They're not posting when they were yelling at the kids that morning and food was everywhere and there was a sink full of dishes, and everybody's always posting their best stuff. And so, and like you said, if you're not careful, you can really get down comparing yourself to other people in moments like that.
Absolutely. Hey,
Yeah.
Amber, I got a quick question for you. So my youngest daughter loves to make slime. So this whole entire break, I think that she has made slime every day, and we're finding it in the carpets, we're finding it in the bathroom, or so. Talk to us about maybe some things that you guys are trying new that you might not have tried prior to the break.
Oh gosh. Okay. So last week it was great weather, and we have some hammocks, and so I put some hammocks up outside to let the kids play. And my oldest daughter came to me. I was doing something around in the yard, and she said, "Mom, can we play with Blake and see how long he can stay in the hammock? And then if he stays in there a long time, can we give him $5?" And I was like, I guess. And then I thought about it for a minute. I was like, you know what? How about I put you all in the hammock, and we have a challenge to see who can stay in the hammock the longest.
Ooh.
And I'll give whoever wins $10, because that's cheap babysitting right there, right?
Yes, that's awesome.
My kids got all this stuff. They got books and coloring books. They had no electronics. That was the deal. And my youngest son had brought some toys in his hammock. And so they were out there. My little boy was 7. He only lasted a little over 2 hours, I think 2.5 hours.
Wow.
The girls were out there for 5 hours. It started to get dark, and they were getting a little scary. But I will say that it was the best $10 I spent this whole break, because I was literally inside, sitting on the couch, and I got nothing done. I was not productive. I was just they're having fun. And so
that's so awesome.
That was a treat.
That was major mom
something
time.
they'll remember, I guess.
Major mommy time, absolutely. So, Amber, I got one last question for you now, okay? So, seeing how Ryan and you guys are the owners of Zaxby's, are like when you guys get in the car and your kids are in the car, and the question goes out there, hey, what do y'all want to eat? Does everybody always say Zaxby's? And are y'all ever allowed to go anywhere else? Do you ever go to McDonald's? Do you ever go to Chick-fil-A? Do you ever go to any? I love some Zaxby's, but I'm just asking because it's just one of those questions we all want to know. Is it just a strict rule, Zaxby's and Zaxby's only? We're asking.
No, there's not a rule that we can't have Zaxby's, but I would tell you that probably 9 times out of 10, my kids would want to go there.
Okay.
And I'm always kind of hey, let's go somewhere else. Let's support somebody else. But they do love it, and we usually don't tell them they can't have it unless it's a Sunday, and that's kind of our day not to go to Zaxby's.
Gotcha.
I don't know why. That's just Daddy's rule, and so it's fine. He just needs a break and some time away, which is fine. But
he can't go to Zaxby's without working. He's critiquing or that sort of deal. Yeah. Because see, I think I saw a picture of y'all at McDonald's the other week enjoying some ice cream. So I'm just trying to get my head around that.
Oh yeah, I mean we love Chick-fil-A, and we do McDonald's some, and just quick go-to. My kids love Bojangles too, so.
Oh yeah, can't beat that.
We eat other stuff.
Good. Amber, so good to talk to you this morning. Love getting the mom's perspective. You've encouraged some moms out there. I think you let some moms off the hook, helping them realize that you don't have to be what someone else is. You just be yourself.
No.
You flow with what you are. That is fantastic. Amber, we did not prepare you for this. But would you do this for us? Would you do this for us? Would you close us in prayer? And would you pray for the moms out there that are listening that they just, maybe they're at wit's end, maybe they're trying to figure this thing out and they're realizing they don't have their act together. Would you mind closing us out this week in prayer for the moms and maybe even the dads too?
Sure, I sure will. Lord, we just thank you so much for this opportunity to be able to hear others that are encouraging us through scripture and music and word. And God, I just thank you for all of the moms out there that have taken on a new role. Some of them are working. Some of the dads are staying home. Some of them have 1 child or 3 or 5, and it's hard. This is a stressful time. But God, you have told us in your word to trust you. And even when we don't understand, you've asked us to trust you. And so, God, I just pray that this time in history that you will give us the opportunity to put everything else aside and know that you are who we are looking to. You are our strength, you are our trust, and you are our hope. And God, every morning, I pray that you will help us to get up and just to see how faithful your love is and that your mercies are new every day. We thank you so much. I thank you for Johnny. I thank you for the bridge. I thank you for this day, and I pray that you'll bless everybody listening in your holy name. Amen.
Amen.
Amber, thank you so much.
Awesome,
thank
Amber.
you for praying. Thank you for listening. Thank you for
You're
making our
welcome.
first week a
Thank
great
you.
week. God bless you all. Hey, stay tuned. We'll be back Monday. Brand new show, Sozo Today.
Yes, with Mayor PJ Conley on
PJ
Monday.
Conley.